고추장. So nice. What year is this, Jay?
So this is 2021, 2022. I'm gonna give you guys a tour of the storage, fermentation labs, and everything what we have. You know, my name is Jay. It's gonna take about 30 minutes of the tour. If you see what we have, you'll understand what kind of food that we do. This is the facility that we're gonna be. So the Ojina has been running for the past 4-5 years, since 2020, which is the starting of the COVID. But the family has been doing this for the past 25 years. So it's only been 5 years that's been out, you know, to the public, introduced to the public, but they've been doing this for the 25 years exclusively because they are helping patients. The whole thing, everything that you see started because the father was sick. He was suffering from a severe diabetes and the diabetic complexions, you know. He had like kidney failures, you know, eyesight blindnesses and everything. So he was very eager to find the cure for his recovery because, you know, back in 1990s, you know, if you go to the doctors and hospitals, if you say you have these kind of like diabetic complexion, the doctors will say, oh, we can't do anything else. You know, you have to get the kidney transplant, you have to, you know, he's a severe diabetic patient. What the diabetic patients can do, they should not take excessive sugar, you know. These are not just sugar, you know, because after 1 year or a little bit more of the fermentation process, the sugar turns into glucose, you know, which is, it's not just sugar. So it doesn't work as a blood spike sugar. So that's why a lot of the diabetic patients can take our syrups and then put them into their beverages and then the food and everything. And then they work with all the natural ingredients, medicinal herbs, and then turn them into syrups, wines, vinegar, tea, and food. We're just food healers because we know the power of food and the natural ingredients. You know, if you consume that right way, you know, you can, you know, recover from the very severe illnesses. But roots are inside. And these are not farmed ones. These are all wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild ginseng.
Wild ginseng from the mountain. Wild ginseng are probably one of the most powerful stamina and energy, the source. So here we have approximately, last time I checked was 150 something different kinds of stuff on different fermentation stage. We have 3 fermentation stage, which is the first stage is the fermented syrup. The second is alcohol stage, which is almost like a wine, natural wine. And the third is the vinegar, which is the final stage of fermentation. Natural apple wine. I'm just gonna give you a little bit. One, it says in Korean, milgam. What's the most famous thing in Jeju? Tangerine. Exactly. So these are the tangerines, you know, that it's been, I think, 11 years, these 2 canisters. Also, this is the plum. In Korea, we call meshe. We use a lot of the syrups. You know, this is the meshe. This is, I think, also 11 to 12 years old. It's hanmoru. It's a wild mountain mini berries. You know, moru. I'll show you. Probably you'll recognize maybe. And it's a vinegar. So this is the last. You know, broth are all here. And this is our oldest kimchi storage. We have so many kimchi storage, but these is in this storage we have about up to 15 years old, 14 years old kimchi. So if you go in. Also, this has some of the most valuable medicinal herbs, roots, and then they dry them and they store here, or sometimes they turn them into tea. So So all the teas, very different kind of variable, like the teas are here and the medicinal herbs are. So it looks like this. Gochujang. All the pots are gochujang, and all the blue plastic canisters are 장아찌. 2021 and 2022, and label, yeah, this is a 2014
gochujang.
And then all of these are 장아찌. All the blue bottles. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, and all up here, all the 장아찌. These are probably the most 장아찌 you'll ever see in Korea because you know they've been doing this for a long time. You know, making all these 장아찌s. You know, when they arrive, all the wildly cut vegetables. Come here. Who wanna try?
Me.
Try. You know, these are our seafood paste, salted seafood paste. You know, you can smell the shrimps, the anchovy, the seafood, the crab, and everything. It's probably one of the most important canister that the family has. It's called 장생 도라지. Doraji is it's like a root. It's a balloon flower root, you know. And then these are 장생 도라. 장생 means longevity, you know, long life. Because these doraji, usually those doraji, which is the balloon flower roots, on the ground, if you farm it, you know, the best you can get is 2 or 3 years old. These are minimum 70 years old. 70, 80, 90,
wow.
Sometimes you find 100 years old 장생 도라지. And cancer. So this is the first thing we kind of give to any of the cancer patients, because cancer is essentially, if you think about it, it's an infection. It's an infected cell, you know. So these 장생, this is 도라지, which is the root, you know, the balloon flower root. Or the you know, 산삼, which is the mountain ginseng, you know, these kind of like rare dorajis. Those shirmanis will go up into the mountains, you know, and then, you know, that not the trekking routes. They will just like go into the mountains and look for these roots and, you know, medicinal herbs, right?
Ginseng.
So for the past 25 years, all the money the family made are here. They just repurchased all this one. This is the 110 years old 장생 도라지.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then so many different stuff that I can use, if you follow me. 2005, which is like what, 19 years old? Something like that. 19 years ago they found this. It's not 19 years old, you know. So these are stuff. So slices, and then we put into the 95% alcohol so they can extract all the medicinal, like Vietnam, Malaysia, you know, Cambodia, Vietnam, like, and then Thailand, China, Korea, and Japan. They use this. They've been used this for medicinal purposes. These
What's it called again?
In Korean it says 용연향. In English, ambergris. And longevity doraji, which is the balloon flower roots, that's been around 70 to 80 years old. And then ungdam, which is the gallbladder of bear. Yeah. And then 침향, which is the oat, you know, agar.
And that's from the royal palace.
So the recipe, you know, how they made these kind of infused pour tea is they read it from the those, you know, royal like medicinal books, you know, for the emperors and then royal families of the China, you know, and then it was written in that book that a lot of the tea makers and then doctors would infuse medicinal herbs, rare ones, into the pour tea the kings and queens and emperors would drink, you know, so they can drink teas and then also drink the medicine together.
Got it. Thank you.
From the root
to the leaf.
to the leaves. And then since it's been a while, the green leaves became white. You know, trying on. So Ojina is a very simple name. Ojina stands for three people's name, which is O, Austin Gang, G, G1, Na, Nabi. Austin Gang was a collaborator. He's a chef that we work with, and then he lived here 2020 when the COVID was really hard, and then he learned Korean foods and Jeju. He proposed to do the pop-up to the family, open up a little bit to the public. So Jiwon, which is the youngest daughter and the chef of the family, and Nabi, which is the second daughter, and then director of the family, they collaborated with Austin and then created this pop-up dining. It was only for temporary, like for 3 months, and then a lot of people requested, even after the pop-up. So this dining opportunity just kept going. Soy sauce.
Another soy sauce.
That's 129 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Soy sauce. They have all the DNA of that mother soy sauce. It's like, one scoop, and then the DNA will be duplicated.